I realized something wasn't right when Bevis was a senior. We just finished a big fight last night that was done from the living room window. I initiated it. He hasn't been over for a month. Bevis told me that he's been overwhelmed with projects and internships lately. I think it was exhaustion. He came back with a colder and colder attitude, fewer and fewer times. I couldn't help but feel a little panicked. While he was in the bathroom, I changed into the lace pajamas I'd just bought, and with a heartbeat, I stepped right through the bathroom door. Probably last night's scene was so exciting that it gradually brought back the feeling of the time when he first tasted the forbidden fruit. Halfway there, I centralized Bevis to switch to the window there, and the back was simply out of control. Last night, he wanted me over and over again, and I nearly fainted, but I held on for fear of spoiling his fun. By the time I finally waited for him to release it, my consciousness had long since lapsed, and I was relieved to pass out. Early the next morning, unable to keep my eyes open, I braced myself and lifted my arms, trying to hug the person next to me and feel his warmth. But the side had long been cold. If it weren't for the wolfishness still on my body, I'd almost think it was a dream. After the break, I trudged off to wash up. My face reddened at the sight of last night's mess in the bathroom living room, especially the puddle on the windowsill. I cleaned myself up nicely, and when I went to pack up the house and the clothes Bevis had changed out of last night, a lipstick mark was found on the back collar of her shirt. It also smells like a light perfume when you smell it closely. The smell was familiar. 6 months ago, I popped into school to see him, only to hear that they were meeting in an off-campus neighborhood. It just so happened that I recognized it, and I looked for it. At that point, he was checking out at the front desk, and he looked up and saw me. In that moment, I saw him panic, but he gathered his emotions quickly. He asked why he had come to him so suddenly. I replied, "It's been a long time, I miss you. I called you and didn't return your calls. I thought something had happened to you." I pouted, ready to go up and hug him. He pushed it away and dragged me out, saying, "It's a bad influence with all the students." I was going to go with him to his classmates' table to say hello. Instead, he made an excuse to send me away on the grounds that it was inconvenient. I didn't think much of it at the time and realized afterwards that I didn't know any of his friends. Back then, I could smell this perfume faintly. IT was at a party, and it was inevitable that I would catch it. Women, always sensitive at times like these, make the connection at once. Combine that with living there for 6 months and Bevis' increasingly cold attitude, and it's hard for me not to think about it more.